Hey friends, it's Will. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. A couple of weeks ago, I made a wallet which I think I completely ruined, and I almost quit leatherwork. And I did almost quit leatherwork. Some people said it was a clickbait video. It was not. It went dreadfully wrong. But this is my redemption video. This is the video I prove that I am not a terrible leatherworker. So I had quite a bit of flack because I sold that wallet. I sold it to one of my phenomenal subscribers, and if you're listening, thank you so much for buying it and giving it a home to live its life in, and I'm sure it will be loved with you forevermore. But this is my redemption video. This is the video that I prove that I am not a terrible leatherworker. And I am going to make something that has a bit of a surprise inside, right in the middle, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. But this is a alligator belly, which is probably my favourite part of an alligator skin. You might be wondering what I just did. I have my leather split quite thin, and I had it split down to, I think it was 0.8 millimeters. So I've said in a previous video, never laminate something to the back of your leather because it makes it irreparable. Now I want it, that's true, but there are caveats, and in this I wanted the alligator to have quite a bit of structure to it because I like my pieces to have structure to them, thin but structure. So I laminated the back of the alligator with some goat split. So when I have my leather sent to be split, they send the back side of it to me because they don't need it and they don't put it in the bin, they just ship it to me. If you're enjoying the content I'm doing, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, the like, and leave a comment down below letting me know. It makes so much difference to the channel, and I cannot keep making these videos if you guys don't subscribe. I know you're loving it because I can see in the analytics that you are absolutely loving the channel. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and we can carry on with the video. And I use it to back stuff sometimes. So that's what we're doing today. We are making a wallet, obviously, with beautiful split goat skin. So it's split down to 0.8 millimeters, which I believe is the perfect thickness for the interior leather of a wallet. So that's what we're doing, and in this case today I'm actually making this for myself. So you'll see in a minute that I'm going to emboss the front pocket with my initials because I need a new wallet and I can make a new wallet, and I very rarely make stuff for myself. I just don't really have time. If you are a leather worker and you want to make one of these for yourself, which I think would be the perfect wallet for you, I have put the pattern on my website, or if I haven't put it on when this goes live, it will be there, but I think I've put it on there. And you can make one for yourself. It's I think the best classic wallet you can have. It's obviously in the style that you're seeing, but I absolutely love it. So you can make one for yourself with the pattern in the link in the description. And if you do make one for yourself, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. My Instagram details are in the description box below. So we're going to cut this in half. That's what I meant by there's a surprise in the middle. I actually cut my panel in half because I wanted this to be a little bit more interesting than just, well, not just, but than a belly panel of an alligator. So I thought, why not cut it in half, split the two sides together with a dividing bit in the middle. I don't really know what you'd call this, but I'm very pleased I did. I love how this wallet turned out. The pattern in the description box doesn't have the cut down the middle. It's a typical bifold wallet, but I think you can use your guidance if you want to do it in the way that I've done it here. So I always have put a little bit of leather just below where the T-slot sides are, and you might have noticed that, you might not. And I do this because if for any reason my pricking irons go through between the T-slot sides, they won't go between the T-slot sides. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but basically I want there to be just a little bit of leather that I've skived down between the T-slots, allowing it to fit perfectly. The pattern is designed with a 3mm pricking iron, and it does fit amazingly. I've worked on this pattern for several years during my career at Equus Leather, which I don't think I'll talk about today, but if you want to hear a bit more about that, let me know. But it was a challenge because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make something that was difficult for me to make, and I found this quite hard because I wanted that gap in the middle to be interesting, and I wanted it to be completely flat. So I've split these down so that they join in the middle, and the thickness between the joins is completely uniform, and it was really hard. So I'm using it's an Italian alligator belly. I got it from a friend of mine, and I'm using a French goat skin from Alran. The thread is 0.45mm. I'm not sure how to pronounce it actually. It's Ziyang, I think. So it's a really interesting thread. It's polyester, but it looks like linen. So I do have a video coming on my channel of a breakdown of all of the different threads and thread sizes and which one to use when. So don't forget to subscribe for that. But it's going to be long. It's probably going to be a half-an-hour video, and I'm going to go through absolutely everything in it. It's going to take a long time, but it's going to give you all of the information you ever wanted. Now, with this back panel, with this leather, I have it quite thin. The back panel itself is 0.8mm, and I've skived it down even further to 0.5mm, so it's really thin. But I wanted it to have structure to it, so I am laminating some 0.6mm bonded leather to the back of it, which gives it a really nice structure. But I've split the sides down to 0.2mm, so there's barely anything there. It's just enough to give it some structure. It's enough to give it no weight on the edges, and to make the edges nice and easy to paint, but also allow it to sit nicely in the pocket and have more life to it. Because if you have a leather that is 0.3mm, it's not going to last long because it's top grain. It doesn't have any of the structure of the actual fibers underneath. So the hidden pocket underneath the card modules, I'm actually going to be lining it with some contrast leather. Now this is incredibly thin, this brown goat skin. Like, I don't think I've worked with leather this thin before, but I want the edges to be as thin as I can possibly get. So the French goat skin that I just lined it with, the brown stuff, is 0.4mm thick. It's incredibly thin. It's basically not there. And it's so that when I open my wallet and I go into that hidden slot, well, it's not really hidden, is it? Everyone can see it. But the hidden slot underneath the module, it's contrasty and I can see what's inside it. I actually really like, my two favourite colours in the entire world are blue and brown, as you can probably guess if you've been watching the channel for a little while. And I just wanted to have a little bit of a contrast in there. This wallet is for me. This wallet is not for sale. The pattern is, but the wallet is not for sale. So I thought I would use the leather choices and the leather colours that I like most. And for me, that is brown and blue. So you might like it, you might not like it, and that is completely your prerogative. So we have now done the modules. We are now going to stitch them. We've stitched them together, and we're going to attach them to the middle panel. So this is the panel that they sit on, that they are stitched to, and it goes between the card modules and the exterior panel for the cash slot. Now, we live in a world where cash isn't really used anymore, But I carry receipts. I carry the occasional 20 quid note. If you're in the US, that is $20. But these card modules cannot be painted after you attach them to the panel. They have to be painted before, which is why I was doing that. So like I said before, I want to get those edges as thin as possible, which is why I've skived down the back of basically everything. I've gone down to as little leather as I can while still keeping this wallet as strong as I can. And I am immensely proud of the thing that I came up with, my redemption wallet, as I keep calling it, and I will keep calling it, because I screwed up the last one. It's going to a fantastic new home, but I screwed it up. So thank you. I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if you want to be mentioned, but thank you very much for buying it. I super appreciate it and can't wait to make your bag. And here we go, the final stitch before we put it all together. This is the top of that panel that I cut in half. A lot of you are probably screaming at your monitors saying, why in the actual fuck did you cut a beautiful belly panel in half? I've told you why. I like it, it's my wallet, and I'll do what I want. But this is a hugely important wallet for me because I have well, that's not true. I haven't screwed up a project as badly as I did with my last project in years. And I am swearing to myself that I will not screw up a project that badly again, which is why this wallet took me a week and a half to make. Not obviously every single day, but it took me a week and a half because every time I thought to myself, okay, I'm getting a little bit tired, I might screw up the next stage, I don't want to cut the wrong bit. It's expensive to keep getting leather split down. It's about 12 quid a panel, and you have to get several skins split at a time, otherwise it doesn't make sense. My dream machine, if you guys are wondering, the machine that I wanted to buy for quite a long time, and I strive to buy at some point in the future, is a splitting machine. Now I have a bell skiver which I use for pretty much everything I make. I don't show it in all of my videos because it isn't very exciting to watch, but I have a bell skiver. I love it. I really love it, actually. It's my baby. However, a belt knife splitter is the machine that it's like my ultimate machine. They are very expensive. They're £1,200 roughly for the cheap ones. No, £12,000, sorry, for the cheap ones. They are expensive, but I will buy one at some point. It is my dream and my goal to buy one at some point. So what I need everyone to do is go buy a pattern, order a wallet from me so that I can buy a splitting machine. Go do that right now, please. I will wait. Go buy the pattern. It's not expensive. And then I can go and buy a splitting machine and make millions more videos for you guys so you can all learn leatherwork as much as you want to. I do have a question. I mean, that was serious, but I do have a question for you all, because I get a couple of thousand views on my videos, which I am magnificently grateful for. But I need another creasing machine. So I have a Brigade M3000. It's the single handle creasing machine. I love it. However, I need another one because I have to keep changing my heads every bloody time I want to do something different, and it's getting really annoying. So if you guys know of a very reputable brand that sell creasing machines, so I'm talking something that is compatible with the Brigade, or you have a creasing machine that you are selling, let me know. My email is down below. It needs to be compatible with the Brigade tips. If it's a brand that you know of and it's good and it's not too expensive, let me know. If you have one that you are willing to sell, let me know as well, because I am in the market for one basically immediately, because I'm getting immensely frustrated with not being able to do two things at once with a creasing machine. Here is the last moment. The last hurrah of this week and a half long project. I am stitching the 2 modules together. Now, again, this is something that I took a long time to do, and it's probably why you can see me changing my clothes a couple of times during the video. I'm skiving the edges down to as close to I can get to the bottom of the leather without actually going to the bottom of the leather. And I am pricking both sides, and I'm gonna attach them together and then stitch through them. The mistake I made last time was sticking it all together and then pricking through it all. So I'm pricking through all of it individually, and then using the needles to line everything up so that the holes are in exactly the right places, and then simply stitching through those holes. If you do this yourself, take your time, but also pull your threads out completely parallel to the wallet or the piece that you're stitching, otherwise you'll get a flat stitch, and I went through that in my last video. And it is something that is really important to do, because if you want to get the nice beautiful angled stitches, you need to, and you've pricked both of them and then stuck them together, you need to pull out completely evenly on both sides. Once you've lined them up, and that does take time, because if you haven't got the exact same amount of holes on both panels before you stitch them together, you will end up either having to miss a stitch or add a stitch on one of them. So this is the last stitch up. This is the last part that I have to do on this wallet to make it perfect. And I was very lucky in that I put the right amount of holes on both sides. I was very lucky in the fact that I took my time. And one of the lessons I learned from this was take your time, learn the right techniques for what you're doing, because if you do, you can do it. I fucked up my last wallet. I did. And it's going to an amazing home. Again, thank you to the person who bought it. If you want to buy one of these, I would love to make one for you. So my details are down below, and I will paint the edges. I use Uniter's edge paint, which I absolutely love. Now you'll see in a second that I'm using something a little bit different. I am going to use some sealer. I've never used it before. I've always just layered edge paint. So I found that Uniter's actually sell edge sealer, and I'm going to be doing a video very shortly on how to get the perfect edge paint. And I'm going to include this because I found a document online which was written by Uniter's, and it tells you exactly how to get the perfect edge finish, and I will do an entire video on that very soon, so don't forget to subscribe for that. Last thing I'll mention before you watch me complete this perfect wallet, I might say it is perfect, is I've turned on channel membership. And if you become a channel member, I'm actually going to be doing some very short quick tutorials for members only, and they'll be short, and I'll also be doing member only videos where I'll be teaching you guys exactly how to do certain techniques that I'm not going to be doing on my main on the main videos. They'll be membership only. So if you become a channel member, you will get exclusive access to members only content, shorts and long form videos, which I'm super excited to make for you guys. Now that edge sealer was a godsend. It allowed me to only use, I think it was 3 layers of Uniter's edge paint, which I've never done before. Normally it's 5 or 6 to get the perfect edge. But I'm gonna shut up now whilst I complete this wallet, allow you to watch me do the edges, which I know you guys love, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic week. Take care.